Okay, cool. So, welcome to Belgrade Beat and Naughty Nomad, right?
Yeah, man, how's it going? I'm sorry if I look a bit hungover. I was had a rough. I was in at like 4:30 last night, so I'm
Where
feeling
are you?
effects.
Where
Let me
are
just
you,
close
man?
the door here. One sec. Whoop. I'm in Malta, living in Malta.
Malta, cool. So, okay, cool. I've been there. I walked around for a few days. Pretty small place. Yeah, really
Yeah,
small
tiny.
actually. Yeah, so greetings from Belgrade, and you reached out to me a couple days ago, I believe, and you were
Hmm.
interested. Your website. How would you sort of summarize the topic of your website?
Well, it's probably the number one online resource for men's travel. I've written over 100 city guides where I focus on, basically picking up a nightlife and that kind of thing, but nothing seedy, just regular guy stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the thing I learned from running a YouTube channel, from running a business, from having my own band, and all that stuff is whatever you do, somebody's gonna not like it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so you kind of preface in the email you said you said something like, if you're not comfortable with me using your footage, I understand it or something. So do you get heat for running a website that tells men how to fly into
Hell
cities and
yeah.
pick up women and what the women are like there?
Yeah, man, my site's banned in China, it's banned in the Middle East.
It's not
It's
hard to get banned in those places, man.
uh, well, basically, yeah, all the
YouTube
kind
is
of,
banned in China, so yeah.
yeah, I suppose. But anyone who's kind of into the dating coach scene, telling guys how to pick up girls and stuff, there's a visceral reaction from
Yes.
certain segments of society, especially like radical feminists. Um,
And
they just
nationalists who don't want you to fly in and steal their women.
Yes, that too, that too. I get a lot of haters, but more love, a lot more love.
Exactly. So I'm the same way with my whole Belgrade beat thing and all that stuff. I haven't really done that many videos about picking up Serbian women, but I have talked about it a while in some vlogs. But it definitely is like, I'm not gonna lie, I am a single guy, and when I moved here from Canada, one of the main reasons was that it was a lot easier to go out with lots of really friendly, interesting, and cute, and beautiful women here than it
Serbian
was.
girls are gorgeous, man.
Yeah, have you been here?
Oh yeah, twice. Three times. I've been to Belgrade three times actually.
Yeah, so it kind of occurs to me that my sort of deep expat perspective might be useful to guys who might just want to fly in for a weekend, because I've lived here for years. Like the first time I moved here was 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and I've lived here constantly for years now. Even though now I do travel a lot more with my business, my global outsourcing business. This is still my base and this is my home, and I've learned how to speak Serbian, and I really know the mentality of
Nice.
people here pretty well. So how can I help you understand these wonderful and complicated and beautiful creatures that you find in abundance on the streets of Belgrade?
Yeah, so for context, those watching, I'm doing a video city guide on Belgrade,
Yeah,
and yeah, so I wanted to get your perspective on. I've been there a couple of times. I had a couple of things to say about it, but you lived there
yeah.
for years, so you obviously have a better understanding. You mentioned, I think, in the message that there's the mix of tradition and
Hmm.
modernism
So
in
it's a
Serbian way of things.
paradox. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
So yeah, the way that I look at this place is that it's not north, it's not south, it's not east, it's not west. It's like a sweet spot of everything slammed together with all sorts of different cultural influences, all sorts of different bits of history. The language is a mix of, Turkish. Well, it's a Slavic language with influence from Turkish, German, tons of Latin, all that stuff, and all of the sort of things that all of those cultures influence the way that people in Serbia live today, and thus the mentality of the people, and thus the mentality of the women when it comes to relationships with men. So on one hand, this society is like a really sort of traditional society, but not as much as you sent me the Armenia video, and I've been there too. I found that hyper traditional, whereas
Very.
this place is like a 50-50 modern traditional. So you can have all of the people here, including myself, we all like the traditional Balkan culture. We like it. It's great. There's strong values of family and friendship and society and how you treat each other and honor. And that's what makes it such a safe place to live. For example, if you respect Serbia and you fit into the society as a foreigner, people are so hospitable. There's almost no like crime on the streets. There's almost no like women can walk home at 4 a.m. from the club drunk in miniskirts and not have any fear of any sort of sexual violence and that stuff like that. So that's really good stuff. And then on the other side, you have this modern world and the influence of Western culture and and young people who naturally want to explore their sexuality. And there's a contradiction between that tradition that they're raised in and the mentality of the family values of the traditionalist collectivist society where everybody's sort of acting as a unit. It's very sort of like you have to fit in. You care a lot about what people, your friends think of you. You care about what your neighbors think of you. You care about what the other families, your family, other people's families, your teachers and everybody think of you. And they talk a lot about everything. So if you're a young person, if you are a young Serbian woman and you want to explore your sexuality, your friend, you might realize that it's a little bit of a taboo to do that in a way that the Western
there's a good there's a there'd be probably there's a good bit of slut shaming. Is that what you're saying?
That's what they call it. Yeah. So I mean, there's multiple levels of it. You could have one group of friends and then you're having some sort of relationship that's completely secret from them and you don't talk about it because you don't want them to know that you're seeing some other guy who's out of the friend group who they might not like or something. And it works very much. A lot of people here meet their mates in friend groups, in like social circles and stuff like that. But at the same time, I go out on the streets of Belgrade and I stop women on the main high street there, Knez Mihailova. I'm sure you've been there. And I talk to them and I ask them questions about how they feel about dating a foreign guy. And they're all very open to it. And we'll go on camera saying, yeah, I'm open to it. I had a boyfriend from Italy. I had a boyfriend from, America, England, whatever. You're from Ireland, right?
Yeah.
They like Irish people here, as you probably.
Yeah, Belgrade was founded on the old Celtic city of
Yes.
Dunham.
Yes, I know. Oh, believe me, I know. And yeah, so I mean, yeah. But the women will say that they're open to having men approach them in public, and I think that you going on the streets there, and if you tried to approach any women on the streets like I do for my channel, you did see that some of them are rather open to it.
Yeah, a lot of guys who've been to Belgrade, they say day game is king. Going out and meeting girls during the day seems to be very popular over there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really consider myself a pickup artist. I'm focused on like music and business and stuff, but I sympathize with you guys. I mean, I'm not like, I don't
consider myself a pickup artist either.
Good.
So
okay. Yeah. Love tourism.
Okay. So Roosh. Yeah, that's a Roosh phrase, I think. Yeah. But it's I'm just a guy helping guys out.
Exactly.
Listen, I've studied all that stuff.
Of course, me too. It's fascinating.
You studied that stuff as well, because it is fascinating.
It is fascinating. Yeah.
Just the term pickup artist is so cringe, man.
It's so cringe. It's so superficial, and it paints us as people who are not looking for meaning and connection in this world.
That's yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's very it's a certain, some guys will go through that and they'll just want to bang as many chicks as possible and stuff like that. And I would say for those types of men, Belgrade is not the place to come. Like, honestly, yeah, no, you're not gonna book a weekend and weekend ticket and come and have a very high probability of
one night stand.
Yeah, I've seen men who have succeeded in that. And, it's nice that can happen. Like, I'll be honest, I've traveled all around Eastern Europe myself, and I've gone on these types of adventures where I'm in a place for, a week or something like that. And I do meet a girl and nice things happen that make us both very happy. And that doesn't seem to happen as much here. And I'm actually happy that I live in this place where that's not happening constantly, because that you know, but at the
Yeah,
same time, I am a little frustrated that the women are sort of like old school in the way that, I don't know, it's like they're very into socializing, but then when you want to take that step to initiate intimacy, it can get weird, I think, here. You know, that because they're worried about what other people think, they're worried about, and they're very passionate people. I think the Serbian woman mentality at another time, you know, like, you can just explain that they actually have so much passion within them. And the guys here are pretty freaking macho, and they're really in their face. And, you know, they need
they're
to,
pretty alpha.
yeah, they need to, and being in that environment has made me more of a man. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and he said that he was living in Canada before, and in the last 2 years of living in Serbia, he grew more balls than the previous 20 years of living in Canada. So yeah, I mean, if you're into self-development and you're into actually working hard to get good results, this is a great place. This is a great place because you're not going to be distracted by an influx of all these girls who are, you know, into having all these like sort of little one night stands here and there, and, you know, playing all these endless sort of like lists of guys and trying to get them to buy them stuff, and, you know, like all that stuff. There are
Yeah,
girls
like
like that here, but they're not the type that go for guys like you and me. Honestly, they're the guys who go for the high roller Serbian athlete guys, whatever celebrities, you know, I guess tennis player like Novak Djokovic would have his pick of any of these, like, you know, the type with the implants here and all that stuff. It's not my game. Like I'm into more sort of my thing is I'm into more natural women who don't try that hard to be beautiful, but just naturally ooze that. So tend to
well,
be.
that's it's good then if you're meeting girls during the day because you're gonna find plenty of them.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, the nightclubs here, I wouldn't say I have a great time usually when I go, but the alternative places I like more.
Yeah, because that's why I found as well. I found that it was a lot of the clubs and a lot of the splabs. They're kind of very pretentious models and bottles types of places where, like, I remember I got we had went to a nice place. It was called Time Out Club or something like that. It was
Okay.
a local girl actually bought us with a group of friends. But I think you had to reserve beforehand. They go in, they put you at a table and there's like a minimum spend, and there's no communal dance floor or bar. Like everyone's just at their tables and they encourage you to stay at your tables, and
Yeah.
everyone's just there. The girls are, by the way, gorgeous, like eights and
Yeah.
nines and stuff,
Yeah.
but everyone just sitting at their tables just trying to look cool to everyone else. It was like, this was no fun. And then we went to what's that fun one, the other splav, Povertak.
Povatarac. Povatarac. Yeah.
Where it's like the complete opposite. It's like
Yes.
drunk tourists, plastic cups, but at least it's not turbo folk. Yeah, so
Oh, Turbo
we're
Folk is, yeah.
yeah,
It's oof, I can't do that. Yeah, so there are two types of people in Serbia, and you've just described them. And they represent the sort of both sides of the coin of the paradox that is the Serbian mentality. But at the same time, even the alternative girls will have that sort of conservativeness in them that I was describing with, you know, dating
yeah.
mostly in social
I
circles, like all that stuff.
we that's because we kind of did the social thing when we were there. We picked up some Serbians, but it had to we had to like do a day too. It wasn't like a one night thing. You know, they invite them out the next night, hang out for a bit. You know, there was they were, you know, a little bit more yeah, a little bit more conservative, I would say. But the good thing about Belgrade is there's plenty of tourist girls that are out for a wild time. I remember the
Not right
summertime.
now.
Not now. No.
But you can fly in here now, guys. You can actually enter Serbia
Oh
without any
yeah,
quarantine or anything like that. Yeah, they cut
fantastic.
that out about 3 weeks ago. So if you want to come, you can.
Listen up, fellas.
Yeah,
You're
and
inviting the swarms now.
there's no lockdown. It's normal life. I was on the, hang on a second. I was on the beach. You know, there's that little fake lake beach called Ada earlier today. I was on there saying hi to my parents in Canada on a call, and my friend took this picture of me. So this is Belgrade
Oh,
today.
nice.
If you're in some
Oh, looks
place where it's
beautiful.
all locked down and and all this stuff. This is Belgrade today. Looks like this. People are having this type of normal post-corona fun on the beach experience, and you can come and fly in with no quarantine today. So guys, if you want to come to Belgrade, you're welcome.
What was your friend taking the picture of? That's what I wonder.
He was taking a picture of me talking to my parents, and he sent it to me. He's like, always hard at work, Eric, aren't you? Wink, wink. Yeah. But yeah, that's
cool, man. Thanks, Sharon. That looks beautiful.
Yeah. It's a great summer spot. And I think actually this summer will be really good because as of right now, Montenegro doesn't have its borders open for Serbian citizens. So like a lot of the problem with like, naturally people want to come and travel in the summer, but if you come to Belgrade in like August, like you have half as many people here as normally would be here because they're all on the coasts of Montenegro and Greece. And if you go to certain places in Montenegro and Greece, you find the Serbian girls.
Yeah, like Budva stuff. Yeah, it's pretty wild out in Montenegro. Beautiful place, though. God damn.
Yeah. So I mean, what can I say? Come to Belgrade. Don't have any expectations, except for that there are people you can approach. There are women that you can approach who will be nice to meet and will talk really well in English, and they'll be friendly to you because you're a foreigner, and you can invite them for drinks and whatever. But then when you try to, if you're expecting sex, you may be disappointed.
Yeah, it may take doing like a day 2 or like have a day getting to know a bit better. I get you.
Yeah, and in that process, like she might just stop writing back to you as well. That happens as well. But then I feel like when you get a Serbian woman interested in you, they get really interested in. Like once you got them hooked, it's like they're really into you, and it's really fun. But most of them are looking for something a little bit more than a weekend or medium term. I would describe what most of them are looking for is medium term. They're happy to date a foreigner who's going to be here for 3 months.
Unless they're married. I got a story in there, but I won't tell it.
I've got stories too that I'm not going to tell. I've got stories from like in 2008 when I first lived here, and there was a really good hostel scene, and locals who would come to the hostel to hang out with foreigners when it was like still really exciting to meet foreigners in Belgrade.
Is that kind of gone now? Is the exotic capital of foreigners kind of diminished now?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's not good. I mean, it was awesome in 2008 because it just, the city just had this fresh and edgy energy, which I guess people still feel when they come here. It's very vibrant, and you see a level of bustling sort of openness that you don't find in a lot of places in Western Europe, North America, where a lot of people visit from. And so I would say, but yeah, the whole excitement of oh my God, you're a foreigner. Oh my God, I want to meet with you and hear about, your country and all this stuff. Nah, not like that anymore.
It's gone now. Wizz Air flying in there, and
Wizz Air
before Ryanair start coming in,
and they've had 10 years of being able to travel into the Schengen area of the European Union. 12 years now, actually. I think 11 years. 2009 is when they got that. So before that, it was really like, wow, you're a foreigner. This is so cool. I mean. But and I remembered I got a flashback of what that was like last summer when I went to Belarus, right? Have you been there?
Oh yeah, I was there in February or January.
I was there last July, and it was like super
wow, yeah, they're interested. They like we were getting shouted at on the street over there.
What?
We were getting called out on the street.
Women?
Yeah. Well, we were wearing sombreros, so
you were visibly foreign. Yeah, like in Eastern Europe. Foreign. I've got roots, in this north of here. I'm a little more blonde than them, but I look like an Eastern European person. So I don't stick.
What about the mustache? How do they respond to the mustache?
The mustache is the source of all my power.
Brilliant.
I don't know. It's like
By the way, listen, man, I just got to tell you, I actually don't have long. I only have about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's wrap this up. Any other questions?
I actually have to catch a boat.
Okay, cool. Any other questions about Serbian women mentality? I mean, I'd say if you're looking for quick results, quick, easy results, go to other countries north of here, also in Eastern Europe that speak Slavic languages like Slovakia, Ukraine,
Poland,
Czech Republic, Poland, etc.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a place where you can do a lot of personal development and become more of a man from the experiences you will have with being around other men who are really alpha, who, by the way, Serbian men aren't like jealous and about you stealing their very few. We might get some comments here about that, but they're not jealous about you're coming to our country and dating our girls. They're very much
really
like,
friendly people. I
bro,
say,
if you can do it, congratulations. Yeah. If you can do it with our girls, good luck, man. We know what a pain in the ass they can be. Good luck, man.
I've nothing but respect. I love Serbians, really friendly people.
So if you want to work on yourself as a man, come for a month in Belgrade, get on the streets. And this is also a city, I'll say, if you don't go out in the city and say what's up and give some friendliness out to people, if you're like you're a little closed off, boxed in little, North American or Western European who doesn't speak up and go and introduce yourself to people, it might be hard. But if you are the person who does go up and say what's up, the city will give you back excellent hospitality. You'll see some of the most beautiful women of your life and you can talk to them and maybe you can negotiate some sort of pleasurable experience that would be mutually beneficial and interesting for both of you. That's kind of
fantastic, man. That's a great wrap up. Just one last question.
Okay.
Is there any cool bars you recommend or?
I would say it's always changing what's cool and all this stuff. In the summer, it's very much about the splav. There's that Cetinska. There's a parking lot where if you...
I know it, yeah. That's a really cool spot. Yeah,
just sort of mushroomed there. I would say if you're into more underground alternative, KPTM, if it's still open. I don't know. I haven't checked. I've only been back for 3 weeks. I haven't checked which businesses Corona has destroyed.
What's the best splav at the minute?
I don't know. I don't know what's open this year. I haven't checked it out. I saw a new one like Kuchica, and if it's the same one that was running the Kuchica, other bars called Kuchica, it should be pretty good. That's over by the fair, Belgrade Fair, and basically, yeah, there's all the classics. It depends what you're into. I'm into like a really thing that's not that popular here, which is like alternative world music, fusion, like Balkan plus beats and gypsy punk and all that stuff. So that doesn't really exist here, even though, unless you talk to me and we do a concert. But if you like just basic trance clubs and stuff like that, I'll ask some people what's going on, what's cool now, and I'll get back to you actually on that.
Cool, and I'll try and drop it in the guide.
I just got back from Thailand, basically 2.5 months there.
Oh, nice.
The world and everything changed. Yeah, I was stuck there for the lockdown.
Savage.
Everything changed in these past 2 months, and I'm not up to date on which clubs are open, but I can get back to you. When do you want to finish this video by?
I actually finished right now. Just last thing for everybody.
No, I mean, go.
Oh, sorry, yeah. By the way, I'm obviously not in Nomad.com, but just for guys who are watching from my side of things, do you want to give them your details or say about anything?
Yeah, Belgrade Beat is BEAT, like the beat on the street and the beat of your feet, or like drum beat, and Belgrade Beat. And you can check out my band, Eric and the Worldly Savages. And if you're an IT guy and you're looking for a job, you can do online while being a digital nomad and visiting different places like Belgrade. Check out Support Adventure. That's my business.
Nice.
So Worldly Savages, Support Adventure, and Belgrade Beat.
Boom. Well done,
thanks a lot, man.
Cheers, man.
Catch you later.
Adios. Thanks for the chat.
I'll see if I can find you some good clubs.
All right, cool, bro.
Catch you later.
Take care. Great chatting you. Take care, man.
Bye now.